best value chain for your fashion business. And I'm Sudarshan, and I'm the founder of CISL. So first, let me tell you a small story. So this is a little bit about myself. So I was born in Sri Lanka, and I was a fashion designer. Worked in the industry for around 10 years time, and working mostly related to innovations related to fashion. So there I worked from small brands to the very large scale brands. So while I was working, I found out there are 3 specific problems most of these fashion businesses are facing. So the first one is, for fashion businesses, it's difficult to find reliable and sustainable fashion partners for their value chain. And then, even if you found, they are not very much transparent, and you are not getting the few tiers down in your supply chain. If you are lucky, and if you are a very big brand, I know Burberry is here, you might get like several tiers down in your supply chain, but most of these small brands, you don't get that luxury. So that's a big problem. And then, order management is complex and costly. As a fact, I know it takes a lot of time to find some minor details in the order management. And then finally, products and the tools are not made to be circular. So if you find, I'm sure you heard a lot of things about circularity, and most of the circularity comes from the design stage, but it is not made to be circular. So that's the time I found, that's a light bulb moment for me. So I found this is a very big problem, and it's worth a lot as well. And if you guess what I did after that? No. I'll tell you. So when I found this problem, I did something crazy. I first quit my job, and then I get married, and then I came to UK with just 475 pounds in my pocket to find a solution. Before I tell my solution, I wouldn't suggest you to quit your job before marrying. But I was lucky because I got a very much strong team who believes in this problem and who believes that yes, we need a solution for this problem. Our solution is a technology and a tool which helps these fashion businesses to make a digitalized supply chain from concept to the production, to the delivery, to the circularity, all in one place. And what we're offering is a product passport and a full tool which is helping these fashion businesses to achieve this target. So, this is Claire. So, Claire is from Clementine Collective. So, Clementine Collective was one of our customers from US. So, they found a Heather. So, she came to us. She had several problems in her supply chain. So, she wanted to scale up her business. She wanted to figure out the ways that how this Claire can get into a wider market and all. So, we had this discussion, and then we figured out what are the problems she's facing and how we can support her fashion business to go on to the next stage. So we mapped her full supply chain within our platform, from designers to the material suppliers, to the manufacturers, to the delivery partners, to all the relevant parties which is needed to go on a digitalized journey. And then, most importantly, we offer a product passport. I'm sure you heard a lot about the product passport, so I'll not give a lot of explanations, but in simple cases, a product passport is a technology which connects the digital aspect of your product with your physical product. So in that way, you can connect the digital world with the physical world. So if you scan this QR code, you can see the exact product passport of Claire and experience how it looks like. So what does this product passport do? Because of this, the product passport, the Claire can get a very good transparency of the supply chain, where it made, how it made, and all this information in one place. Because of that, the product is not stopping in the borders. That's the one advantage. And then, for the brand, they can get a wealth of information. So for example, once you sell the product, you don't get a lot of information about the consumer, how it used, and where it used, and all this. But once they scan the QR code, they can, as a brand, you can get all the analytical information and all this info. And most importantly, with that, they can scan the QR code, and after the end of the life, they can send it back to the brand, and you can make a community around it. So, with this way, Claire goes a long journey. Normally our products last for longer, and this Claire is for generations, but in case if you're planning to send it for landfill, you can change it. Finally, These are our contact information. We have 3 asks over here. First one is, if you are a brand, please talk to us. We can help you and we can work with you to collaborate to make sure that we take you to the next stage in your circular and transparent journey. And there are a lot of businesses who are from corporate, so we can discuss, because I'm sure you do a lot of corporate uniforms, so you doesn't need it to be a fashion brand. We can help you to make your corporate uniforms go to the next stage. And finally, if you are an investor, we can discuss, because we are starting our first funding round this year, so we can work with and take into the next journey. Finally, let's change the fashion industry for a better one. Thank you.